What if everything we've been taught about discipline is incomplete? What if it's self-control, not discipline, that's the real key to lasting success? So many of us are told that we need to be more disciplined, whether it's for our fitness, our finances, our careers, but discipline often feels like this struggle, this battle against ourselves. Is there perhaps a better way of doing things? As a child, I hated the word discipline. Back then, discipline meant a meeting with the belt of knowledge or with the switch of truth. And I'm sure if everyone is being honest about it, no one likes discipline. You may like what it can do for you, but it's not an experience that you cherish so much. Discipline introduces some level of restriction or consequence that I would most likely prefer to avoid if it's up to me. But looking backwards, I can definitely see how it was beneficial. It helped me establish a certain set of behaviors and beliefs. It taught me that my actions have consequences and how things can become much easier in life by behaving with a certain level of awareness for my actions. So, because of that belief, I believed that it was the most effective method for me to grow in all areas of my life. You'll actually hear it all the time from top athletes and business people. They say you have to be disciplined to be successful. So that's what I thought I had to do. But I would argue that most of them have actually graduated from discipline to have learned something that works even better. In college, I was a music major, and practicing multiple hours a day wasn't just a suggestion, it was a requirement for my success. But I personally struggled to do it consistently. It was a behavior that I wasn't comfortable with and I hadn't learned. So I tried to force it through discipline. If I didn't practice on a particular day, no TV. If I showed up unprepared for rehearsal, then I wouldn't allow myself to hang out with friends. It was all about what I couldn't do. And it definitely helped me improve and show up consistently at points, but it was never a long-lasting thing. I can see how discipline definitely set a foundation, but it only got me so far. I'd forced myself to practice with penalties and restrictions, thinking that the lack of rewards would motivate me to practice even more. But it only stuck for so long before I needed something deeper, before the lack of those rewards no longer bothered me. I started to realize maybe I needed a different kind of mindset. See, we're not naturally built to punish ourselves forever. That's why so much discipline actually can lead to burnout. Notice most disciplinary actions come from a power that has some level of control over our futures. At some point, not getting the results we desire should be more than enough punishment to affect us internally. The frustration I felt to not be able to express myself or connect with others musically was far worse than any external punishment that I could personally choose. Those external restrictions became less effective over time. So what's wrong with the concept of self-discipline? What's missing? See, discipline is usually where most of us start. It's that structure used by our parents, teachers, our employers, those who have some type of direct impact on a part of our lives that's out of our current control. Discipline is the training phase where we learn the consequences for our actions or the lack thereof. We learn to show up, stay focused, and follow through. It's definitely a necessary part of the process, but again, it's external. So it's designed to be used by individuals outside of ourselves, not by us for us. For a child or someone who simply just doesn't know better, there is no shame. So there's no internal punishment to help guide them. That's why in the beginning, it must be external. Someone else has to lay down the guidelines, hold us accountable, and when we mess up, they have to enforce the consequences. Discipline teaches us that every action has a reaction. Riding through life with discipline is like riding through life with training wheels on your bike. Its whole purpose is to set you up so that eventually you don't need those training wheels and you can then travel freely. Discipline is about doing what needs to be done so that we can get the permission of others or avoid punishment when falling short. But real growth means moving the discipline training wheels off and riding on our own self-control. The balance isn't coming from rules or consequences, but from the deeper internal understanding of who we are, who we wish to become, how we want to impact others, and a deliberate decision on which way to go in life. Discipline used to be the way to become consistent, and it was enforced through fear of consequences. It's all about keeping ourselves rigid and in check. Do this, avoid that, or else. It was restriction, not choice. And when the restrictions are gone, it no longer matters to you, or when you realize that you have the ability to ignore those restrictions and nothing really bad seems to immediately happen, it becomes easier to fall short of your goals and never achieve your desires in the first place. Essentially, with discipline, you're still treating yourself like a child, and that's a tool that does not work well with adults. As we get older and mature, we understand that our desires and goals impact a lot more than just ourselves. It's not just about how I am affected, but how our spouse, children, parents, employees, and friends are impacted as well. And a shift from a disciplined mindset to a self-controlled mindset should occur. Discipline is about doing what's required, but self-control is about making empowered choices because they align with who we want to be and the results we want to see. The shift to self-control means we're not just doing the minimum to avoid punishment, we're actually doing our best to grow and create change. It's not about limits anymore, but about freedom. Self-control is about seeing beyond the immediate to the bigger picture, choosing actions now that will lead to lasting satisfaction rather than instant gratification. It's choosing freedom from short-term desires in favor of true fulfillment. Self-control isn't just about what we avoid, but about what we gain in the long run, like the satisfaction of seeing our health, relationships, and dreams become reality over time. The concept of having control is so much more attractive than the concept of being disciplined. When discipline goes on too long, it highlights the restrictions, builds resentment, and in most cases, if not all, it causes us to rebel, like in many children or even in slavery. So self-control is going to inspire freedom, empowerment, and a great sense of self-worth. Now, which mindset do you think is going to create long-lasting change and success for you? Discipline or self-control? To make that transition from a disciplined mindset to a self-controlled mindset isn't going to be an instant thing, but it is very rewarding. There are actually several principles you need to learn to become self-controlled and live a life of purpose and fulfillment. Now, I don't want to just run through them real quick and not do them justice. So what I'll do is cover these principles needed for a self-controlled life in the next upcoming videos. But remember, discipline is the starting point. It's not the final destination. It was never a tool used for life, but a training mechanism to help you feel what self-control can do for you. As you grow, mature, and begin to think about your purpose and the level of success you desire in life, you want to make that shift to a self-controlled mindset to receive long-lasting results. You have the ability to make the best choices, the strength to take the biggest action that will allow you to become the person you wish to be and achieve the success you wish to achieve without the threat of punishment or restriction, but with the promise of freedom. Make sure to be on the lookout for the next video to help make this shift to a self-control mindset and begin learning the principles that's going to help you reach your goals. Now, do me a favor, share with me in the comments what you've gained from this perspective below. Knowing that I'm helping you is actually why I do this, and your insights and wisdom is going to help me continue growing as well. So it's much appreciated. Don't forget to like, share, save, and subscribe so you don't miss any future content that's going to help you live a life of success. Now, go take advantage of all the opportunity life gives you to grow and have a victorious day. Peace.